Most golfers really struggle with aiming putts. Some people try to use the line on the ball and kind of point it in the right direction and then take a stroke at it, but they get frustrated because it doesn't work out for them. Well, that's okay, because in this video, I'm going to give you a very simple 4-step process that will help you aim your putts perfectly, and that'll help you make a lot more. So I'm going to give you a 4-step process to aim your putts perfectly, but you've got to go through all 4 steps and they build on each other. Actually, it's a 3-step process, and the 4th one is taking it to the course, but you'll want to stick around for that. Step number 1, if you want to aim putts perfectly, you have to first learn to roll the ball straight up a target line. Now, I know you may think, well, duh, that's obvious, and that has nothing to do with aiming putts. But it actually does, because it will blow your mind how many people do not roll the ball straight on their intended line. And the other thing is, it doesn't matter where you aim. If you can't roll it at that target, the aiming doesn't help you at all. So first, learn to roll the ball straight up a line. And by the way, all you need to be able to do is roll the ball straight for about 9 inches. Research has proven that if you can roll the ball 9 inches straight up a line, that after that, if the putt's longer than 3 feet, after that first 9 inches, gravity and friction takes over and it comes down to your green read and your speed. Done a lot of videos on the channel on rolling the ball straight up a target line. Got tons of training and video on that in the online course system that I've created, so I'm not going to do a video on that here. But you have to learn to roll the ball straight up your line, and you'll be surprised how many of you are not rolling it up your target line. Learn to do that first. Second thing is, learn to pick a target that is not the hole. Now, I know your goal is to get the ball in the hole, but if the putt has any break, then the hole is not your target. You need to learn to pick a specific target outside of the hole. And I don't mean what so many of us do. Oh, that's a little bit outside, or that's on the left edge, or that's just inside the right, or oh, that's a ball. No, pick a very specific target. The concept of aim small, miss small. I use a green reading system that gets me a specific number of inches from the pin. And if you want the best training anywhere to help you roll the ball straight up a line and read the green so that you can pick a proper target, I've created the One Putt Golf School. It's a series of online courses that will help you learn to putt the right way so you can roll the ball up the straight line, learn to read greens and become a green reading guru. Check it out. There's a link in the video description. But then when you pick a specific target like that, I want you to learn and train yourself to see what that target is like. Now, you can do that with a tee in the ground beside your hole and go, that's my target. Or you can do it with a ghost hole. I love to use ghost holes for that. Like here, I'm using a ghost hole, which is awesome. I love to use those, and I think to myself, okay, that's my hole. I know the real hole is over there, but I want to go at that hole, that ghost hole. Even better way to do this is with a string, an alignment string. Love the string aid from Puttline Golf because it helps me see not only my actual target out beside the hole, but it helps me see the line on that. And I think if I start it on that line at that target at the right speed, then it's going to break and go in the hole. That's really helpful. Also, a wonderful thing about the Puttline, the reason it's my favorite, is these pucks are actually smaller than the golf hole, which helps me with the concept of aim small, miss small, and they have an adjustment where you're able to use them inside. You don't have to use the spike to poke a hole in your floor, that kind of thing. It's awesome to use a string aid inside, especially during the winter when you're working on putting and you have some break in your floor or you have some way to make a little adjustment in your mat. Use that to help you roll putts straight on the line. Pick a target that is on that line. Now let me give you the third thing, and then we'll talk about how to take this aiming to the actual course. The third thing is learn to trust that actual target that you've chosen beside the hole. I see so many people, they've picked a target that's not the hole, and then they set up and like, my target is out to this side of the hole a little bit. And so many people set up and their body and their setup is pointed at the hole, and then their putter face is open. And then what they do, instead of rolling it straight up that line, their body and their brain feel a disconnect. You're not aimed at the target, you're not set up at the target. And so they start making a push stroke or a pull stroke or a push stroke, and they're not rolling it straight up the line because they haven't trusted that target. So be sure, once you pick up a target that is not the hole, you pick a target that's not the hole, then you set up to that target. I'm not set up to the hole, I'm set up to the target, which is out to the side of the hole. So critical. I see so many people, and if you start watching, you'll see people every time that you play, that they set up and they're aimed over here, but their body is over there, and now they can't possibly make a proper, it's an accident if the putt goes in the hole. I want you to make them intentionally, not by accident. So roll the ball straight, pick a target that isn't the hole, and then set up to that target that is not the hole. We don't set up to the hole, we set up to where we want the ball to go, and we trust that and roll it straight up that line. Let's talk about how you take that to the course, and it's going to bring this whole thing full circle. You go out to the course, you read the green, and you've picked a target that isn't the hole, and now I want you to imagine that string line or that ghost hole or whatever you used when you practice. I want you to imagine a straight line from there back to the ball, and then 8 or 9 inches out in front of the ball, pick an intermediate target. For those of you who've ever done any shooting, it's front sight, that's your target. Rear sight is your intermediate target. And I've got an intermediate target about 9 inches out in front of the ball. And I make sure those are lined up with each other. Now I set up, and you remember what we said early in this video, you have to learn to roll the ball straight for at least 9 inches. Now I set up, and I can see that intermediate target, and for me it's a little piece of grass or leaf right there on the green, just a few inches in front of my ball. I can see that in my peripheral vision, and I know that all I want to do is, just like I've practiced over and over and over again, rolling the ball straight up a line for 9 inches, I want to roll the ball straight up the line over that intermediate target at the right speed, and it goes in the hole. Something that will help you with this on the green, and a lot of people use a ball marker. You can certainly mark your ball and then put a line on your ball marker, like I have one here with a line on it. Even better than that is to use a tool called the alignment ball mark, like I have here, because it's adjustable and I can set it up and then use the line on my ball. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to use a tool like that. You don't have to use the line on your ball, as long as you pick your target, trace that line back to your intermediate target, and then you step up and you set up on that line and roll the ball over that intermediate target and let gravity and your green read do its thing. A lot of times on the course, I'll put my ball down, and you can use the line or not the line. Put my putter shaft directly under my dominant eye. Make sure that that line is aimed straight at my target. It's almost like using the putter shaft as a string line for a visual, and that seems to help quite a bit. If you'll try this 4-step simple process, you'll hole a lot more putts. And if you like holing more putts, then you know the drill that you need to do for that. Give this video a like, take the easy tap in on that subscribe button, check out this video on the screen now, share and make your comments, and until next time, here's to you making more putts.